So what do you think? What is the main concern or main issue for other people? They can't find a job. Is it because of their efforts, or they don't want to do that effort, or they rely on more on the personal reference?
Well, one, I think people should know how to structure. You can't have a CV that says you work in IT, but you're applying for a marketing role. Unless you have the soft skills and the hard skills for the job. I think that also makes it. But at the end of the day, it depends on the recruitment manager.
Of course.
But it would be helpful if you tailor fit your CV according to what you are applying for, which is the struggle, because you always have to edit your cover letter or something if you're someone like that.
So dedication, mindset, and goal. These are the three things that can take you from one place to another place. And we have a lot of examples in this world. And one of the examples are sitting with us today. Her name is Lesley, and she is working in the education industry. And basically, she is from Philippines. So we welcome Lesley to our podcast. Before we start, we just want you to tell your full name and a little bit about your journey from Philippines to Australia.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast. I'm Lesley Muhi. I am from the Philippines. I basically have a bachelor's degree in marketing back home. And then I came here in Australia on a student visa. And now I am working for one of the vocational colleges here in Sydney.
Okay, good to know. You mentioned that you done the bachelor's of marketing in Philippines.
Yes.
So did you do any kind of back experience in Philippines before joining in Australia, or have you had any kind of experience in Philippines?
Yes, actually, after graduating from my bachelor's, I worked for 3 years, three and a half years in the marketing industry. I did events management, I did social media branding as well, and product management.
Okay.
And then, in 2023, I came here in Australia, applied for a master's degree in business, and now I'm working in the education industry.
Okay, so you work studying a master's of business here, and you're working in the education industry as a marketing position?
Marketing specialist.
Marketing specialist. So you work in a marketing specialist in Philippines, and you work in marketing specialist here as well. So there are two things that I've noticed. One is a change of country from Philippines to Australia, but in the same position. The second one is the change of industry. So how would you describe the one in the Philippines and the one is here, like in terms of work environment and plus the change in the industry as well? How you feel about this?
I think one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Australia for studying first is because of the education standards, and I want to improve myself in that area. Well, secondly, work-wise, it's very different. In the Philippines, no offense, we don't have the work-life balance.
Understand, yeah.
Which is a factor for me of choosing Australia. Here, the environment is really great. Even if you're stressed at work, you remain happy.
Yes.
Because it's easy. Everything is accessible. You can go to the beach 20 minutes by bus after work. So things like that is really a factor for me. We want to work hard, but also reward ourselves very easily.
So it's a more freedom here and more like an outcome of what you do, right? As compared to back in your home country.
Yes.
And so how you describe that change of industry but in the same position?
It's very different. I guess the main difference is before I was talking to a broader set of people, but now it's the same marketing sales, but in a more direct. I deal with people personally, which is, I guess, fulfilling in a way, because you help people, you help your peers like student visa holders, you talk to industry migration agents and to guide you as well.
So you are at the front end, I would say, right? Because more face-to-face communication or the other mediums. So now you working as a marketing specialist, was it your first job or have you done anything before this job in Australia?
This is my first job.
This is your first job?
Yes.
Okay, so now finding a first job in Australia, especially, some people consider it lucky, some people think it's very hard. So how would you describe and how did you find your first job as a marketing specialist? Because most of people, when we speak to them, they said, I was a cleaner, I was on a different, not a white collar job. So how did you go to your first job?
It also helps if you have built something back home that can help you here.
Of course.
I definitely can say that I prepared myself to the hardships. I was ready. I worked in corporate back home, but I was ready to do cleaning. I set my mind into it. Coming here, I was like, I was ready to do cleaning, work in McDonald's, stuff like that. Prepare myself, for, what's going to happen. At first, I came here. The first week, I toured around Sydney. And then the second week, I dedicated 5 full days of scouring LinkedIn, Seek, Indeed, sending, believe me, hundreds of CVs. And, going to personally in shops and, just try my luck. And thankfully, in that week, I found Novus. And they invited me for an interview.
So which platform you used to apply for the Novus?
I actually got hired through Indeed.
From Indeed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So see, you mentioned that you have applied through like so many platforms and the different mediums you have used, online, face to face.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What is the main concern or main issue for other people? They can't find a job. Is it because of their efforts, or they don't want to do that effort, or they rely on more on the personal reference?
Well, one, I think people should know how to structure. You can't have a CV that says you work in IT, but you're applying for a marketing role. Unless you have the soft skills and the hard skills for the job. I think that also makes it different. But at the end of the day, it depends on the recruitment manager.
Of course.
But it would be helpful if you tailor fit your CV according to what you are applying for, which is the struggle, because you always have to edit your cover letter or something if you're someone like that.
But don't you think there is another factor, that's a mindset? As you mentioned, you were comfortable, you already made your mindset, I can do any job. Don't you think that other concern for other people, because when we speak someone, they come for the job, they said they don't want to do this job. For example, they don't want to do the car wash, they don't want to do the cleaning. They said we only want to do this job or these kind of job. Do you think that is one of the hurdles to find a job as well?
Yes, definitely. Sydney especially is not an easy, job hunting space. So it's more important. It's good that you have the skills, but the mindset is very important.
Very important.
Like you have to build you have to build yourself on something, regardless of how small it is or how big it is, or what industry it is, or you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable in the future. I think that's the mindset that everyone should.
I understand. No, that's good saying. So regarding Philippines, I was talking to you regarding the Philippine. We have a lot of Philippine clients, and the mindset is different and all this stuff, right? But I learned from you that Philippines is not a poor country. It depends on where the person is coming from in that country. For example, in India, people represent sometimes a very poor country. Some people represent it as very rich country. Again, it depends on which part of that country you're coming from. Is the same thing with the Philippines as well?
It is the same. I wouldn't say that that everyone is fortunate enough to have savings. That's the first thing. The savings to go to another country and start over, be on a student visa, live another life. The savings is the one really struggle in the Philippines. But I would say that people from the Philippines are very hardworking. That they find ways.
Yes.
They may it be borrow from a family member. Go here with a partner so they can, the other person can legally work and they can support their, student visa fees and stuff like that.
Understand.
So it really depends on where you're from, but at the end of the day, what's your strategy? Filipinos are very strategic.
Good to know. And the another thing we have noticed in most of the jobs, like in this industry, we don't see many Filipino people to work in this industry, especially like, for example, you working as a marketing specialist, right? You're one of the few people I have met because most of people are from the different backgrounds, not from Philippines, right? So what do you think? There is no right or wrong answer for this one, but what do you think it could be the reason that not many Filipino people are joining this industry in terms of future or for the job perspective?
You know that the Philippines is the biggest supplier of nurses. And the biggest suppliers of customer service representatives. Yeah, so mainly we are scattered. I think more of the demographics of Filipinos are more in the medical side of it. And services, customer service industries. But yeah, I think that's the
That's
main
one other
reason
thing, yeah.
why.
Because of the mindset thing.
Yeah. Yes, and I think we growing up, if you meet a Filipino,
Yeah.
there is no Filipino person who doesn't have a cousin who is a nurse, auntie who is not a nurse. So it's kind of like the culture as well.
The culture, how the culture is there, following the same roots as well, right?
Same roots.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are other marketing specialists, yeah, but in another industry.
But hopefully, Lesley, by seeing this podcast, you will set some example for the Philippines to change the industry, because as you mentioned, you are at the front end, right? And you enjoy this industry as well, right?
Very much.
So I'm pretty sure you will set an example for Filipino clients or Filipino people who wants to enter in this industry. Now, you mentioned that you're working in the Novus.
Yeah.
So what is a Novus? Can you please tell a little bit about this thing?
So Novus, we are a registered training organization. We have 3 campuses at the moment. We have one in Sydney, one in Gosford, and one in Perth in Western Australia. So we offer vocational courses, tons of it.
Yeah, okay.
From kitchen management, automotive, trade courses like painting, tiling, bricklaying, civil construction. We also have advanced diploma in IT, community services, and business courses. So yes, we cater to international students all over the world. We are a very diverse community. We have students from India, Nepal, Brazil, Colombia, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, everyone. So we try to, have that community like of diversity, so people feel included, and they learn from each other as well, and relate to each other's journey as international students.
And they can learn from each other's background and the history and all this stuff, right?
Yes.
So one question related to this one, as you mentioned, you have a multicultural environment, you have so many courses.
Yeah.
So which one is the main one course that is most popular among your students, or you have more students in that course specifically? There is no right or wrong question. And which community people have, like you have more community from that specific country or something?
That's a very tough question.
Very tough question.
Tough question.
Just do a guess.
But I say community service, we have a lot of Indian, Filipinos, and Fijians.
Okay.
That's one of the top. Civil construction.
Yes,
it's a very popular course. Of course, kitchen management is still there, and automotive, a big one for Filipinos. We have electrical and light vehicle. So those courses, and right now it's starting to pick up our trade courses.
Painting,
of course,
tiling, especially construction industry, right?
But yes, I would say community service, civil construction, kitchen, and automotive.
So a combination of pretty much everything, but the people are moving towards more construction industry nowadays, right?
Yes.
And you already mentioned about the diversity of the courses you provide. You already mentioned the diversity of the students you have from a different countries. So what were the people you work with? So they are from the different country as well, or just all from India, or all from Philippines, or from
people I work with at Novus?
Yeah.
We are also diverse. We have one from Colombia, Brazil, and Philippines. We have from Thailand. We have people from Nepal, India. So it's a very diverse. China.
So it's good to see there's too much diversity in everything. I think it's very important when it comes to the students. Sometimes students go to institute. For example, a student is from Thailand, right? They are not good with the English, and you have a staff from Thailand, and it becomes easy to communicate as well, right? And that's another reason I think to choose your institute for the students, because of the diversity. So they feel comfortable. For example, they have their own community people in case they won't have the communication issue. You have a lot of courses to choose from, so they have that option. Plus you have more than one location, which means they can move to Perth, or they can move to Gosford, wherever the opportunity is coming up. And hopefully Novus will come to the other states as well in the future, right?
That is in pipeline.
Yes, so that's pretty much good to see that you guys are working together and learning from each other as well, and that sets the example for the students as well, that if there is a diversity in the students, there is also diversity in the people who are working there as well, right? So what's the one thing you like most about your job?
I think The best thing one thing that I like about my job is helping students.
Okay. So you deal directly with the students, like helping in terms of with their problems or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, aside from helping, agencies and, agents in how to, help students find the right course for them for their career, it's also very rewarding as someone who is working in the education industry to be able to like personally help someone, because at Novus, we practice emotional intelligence in everything that we do.
Yep.
So we are always, in everything that we do, we have this mindset of helping and answering queries, making students comfortable. Because to be honest, being an international student, it's already hard.
Of course.
So when they step in our college, we try to get those problems away, make their lives more easier, and stuff like that. So that is one thing that I really, I get to sleep at night knowing that.
No, that's good, because you love to do that as you listen the problems and provide the solutions. Plus, you're emotionally connected with those people when they know that there is someone who can listen to their problems. So there makes very comfortable environment, I would say that, right?
Yes.
So now it's great to learn everything from you, Lesley. As I mentioned to you, coming from Philippines and working in the different industry. Now you're in the different industry and you enjoying helping other students as well. So what's you want to say to those who wants to come to this industry, and especially if they're from Philippines or from any part of the world?
What I can say is, working at the education industry, not only you can help other people, advance their careers, but also it's a very good way for you to meet like-minded people who can, help you within your career and outside of your career. There's a lot of, smart and hardworking people in this industry, so the opportunities are limitless, unlimited. So.
Now, thanks, Lesley, for advising the people who gonna listen this podcast. I think again, as I mentioned to you, you're gonna inspire a lot of people. And thank you so much for coming and joining us and giving your good time and sharing your experience with the Novus Education as well as your experience in this industry. We wish you the good luck to you as well as to the Novus Education for the future campuses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lesley. And lastly, if anyone has any problem who is studying at Novus, contact Lesley.
Thank you
so much.